Welcome back. Today, we're diving into time management. To start, how would you define time management in a practical way?
Time management is all about organizing and planning how to divide your time between different activities effectively. It's not just about making a to-do list. It's about setting priorities, staying focused, and making sure you're working smarter, not harder. People often struggle because they don't break down big tasks into smaller, manageable chunks. You need to map out your day, allocate time slots, and stick to them as much as possible.
That sounds useful. What are the common mistakes people make when trying to manage their time?
One of the most common mistakes is overcommitting. People often take on too much, thinking they can handle everything, and end up feeling stressed and burned out. Another mistake is underestimating how long tasks take. For instance, a simple task like replying to emails can take much longer than expected if you don't set limits. People also get distracted easily, scrolling through social media or getting caught up in minor details instead of focusing on what's really important. Finally, failing to review or reflect on your progress is a big issue. Without checking if your plan works, it's hard to improve.
That makes sense. Can you share some practical strategies to manage time better?
Absolutely. First, start by setting clear goals. Break them down into daily or weekly targets. Use tools like planners, apps, or digital calendars to keep track of your tasks. Second, prioritize your work. Use the Eisenhower matrix, for example, to distinguish between urgent and important tasks. Third, try to batch similar tasks together. This reduces switching between activities and helps you focus. Fourth, learn to say no. It's crucial to protect your time and avoid unnecessary commitments. Fifth, take regular breaks. Working for hours without resting can actually slow you down. Lastly, review your progress at the end of each day or week. Ask yourself what went well and what could be improved.
How about distractions? They seem unavoidable. How do you deal with them?
Distractions are everywhere, but there are ways to cut down on them. Start by turning off notifications on your phone or computer when you need to focus. Create a dedicated workspace if possible, and let others know when you shouldn't be disturbed. Some people find using techniques like the Pomodoro method helpful. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Also, be mindful of multitasking. Many think they're saving time by doing several things at once, but it often reduces efficiency. Focus on one task at a time and try to complete it before moving on.
Can you explain the importance of routines in time management?
Routines are extremely powerful. When you establish habits, your brain knows what to expect, and you waste less energy deciding what to do next. Morning routines, for instance, can set a productive tone for the day. Evening routines can help you wind down and prepare for tomorrow. Consistency is key. By sticking to routines, tasks that once felt overwhelming become automatic over time. This also helps reduce procrastination, which is one of the biggest obstacles in effective time management.
Some people say they work better under pressure. Does that fit into time management strategies?
Working under pressure can motivate some individuals temporarily, but it's not sustainable in the long run. Relying on last-minute stress often leads to mistakes and burnout. Time management is about pacing yourself, planning ahead, and avoiding unnecessary stress. Building a buffer into your schedule is wise. Don't plan your day to the minute. Allow extra time for unexpected events so you can stay calm and in control.
How about tools and apps? Are they essential?
They're not essential, but they can be very helpful. Calendar apps, task managers, and reminder tools help you stay organized and avoid forgetting important deadlines. Some apps allow you to track how much time you spend on each task, which can reveal areas where you're wasting time. However, the key is not to rely solely on technology. It's easy to get caught up in organizing rather than doing. So use tools to support your plan, but don't let them become a distraction themselves.
Let's talk about balancing work and personal life. How can time management help?
Balancing work and life requires setting boundaries. Time management allows you to allocate space for both professional and personal commitments. Schedule work hours and personal time deliberately. When you focus on tasks during work hours, you're less likely to carry unfinished work into your personal life. Also, include leisure, exercise, and social activities in your schedule. A well-structured day isn't just about productivity. It's about creating a life that's sustainable and fulfilling.
Definitely. I often talk about breaking down tasks, focusing on priorities, blocking out distractions, and running through my to-do list. I also like fitting in small tasks when I have spare time and catching up on work if something falls behind. Another useful one is mapping out my week. Planning in advance helps me stay on track. Finally, staying on top of deadlines is something I repeat to myself constantly. These phrases are practical and reflect everyday time management actions.
How would you advise someone who always feels like there's not enough time in the day?
First, I'd suggest tracking how you spend your time for a few days. Often, people underestimate how much time is spent on distractions. Next, identify tasks that aren't truly necessary or can be delegated. Learn to say no to commitments that don't align with your goals. Third, break your work into manageable blocks, focus on one thing at a time, and build small wins into your day. Finally, adopt a mindset shift. Time is finite, so focus on quality, not just quantity. When you manage your time effectively, you feel more in control, less stressed, and more accomplished. Start small and be consistent. Don't try to overhaul your entire schedule overnight. Pick one strategy, like planning your day the night before, batching tasks, or blocking out distractions, and stick with it. Gradually, these habits build up and compound into a highly effective routine. Remember, time management isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Reflect regularly, adjust your methods, and keep learning. Even small improvements can make a huge difference over time.
You mentioned starting small and building habits gradually. Many people try to change everything at once and then give up. Why does that happen so often?
It usually happens because people set unrealistic expectations. They try to wake up earlier, exercise every day, work longer hours, learn new skills, and completely change their routines all at the same time. At first, they feel motivated, but after a few days, the pressure starts to build up. When the plan becomes too demanding, people fall behind and feel discouraged. A better approach is to ease into new habits instead of forcing drastic changes. For example, if someone wants to manage their time better, they might start by simply writing down their daily tasks every morning. That small habit can help them stay organized and keep track of responsibilities. Once that becomes natural, they can begin planning their week ahead or setting aside specific time blocks for focused work. Another helpful strategy is to build momentum. When people complete small tasks successfully, they gain confidence and feel more motivated to continue. Over time, these small improvements add up and lead to significant progress.
That's interesting. Many listeners probably struggle with procrastination. Why do people procrastinate so much, even when they know they shouldn't?
Procrastination is often misunderstood. Many people think it's simply laziness, but in reality, it's usually connected to emotions. People delay tasks because they feel overwhelmed, bored, uncertain, or even afraid of failure. When a task feels too big, the brain tends to put it off and look for easier activities instead. That's why someone might open social media or watch videos when they actually need to finish an important project. The mind tries to escape discomfort. One effective way to deal with procrastination is to break tasks down into smaller steps. Instead of thinking, I need to finish this whole project today, it's better to say, I'll start by working on it for 20 minutes. That small step lowers resistance and helps people get started. Another useful technique is the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately instead of delaying it. This helps prevent small tasks from piling up and turning into a bigger problem later. It's also important to remove distractions and create an environment that supports focus. When people cut out unnecessary interruptions, they can stay engaged with their work much more easily.
Some people feel busy all the time, but still don't get much done. What causes that?
That's a very common situation. Being busy and being productive are not the same thing. Many people fill their day with small, low-impact tasks that feel productive but don't actually move them toward their main goals. For example, someone might spend hours answering emails, attending meetings, or organizing documents. While these tasks may be necessary, they often take up valuable time that could be used for more meaningful work. To avoid this problem, people need to focus on high-priority tasks first. A helpful question to ask is, which task will make the biggest difference today? By starting with the most important work, people ensure that their energy is spent where it matters most. Another key idea is time blocking. Instead of jumping from one task to another, you schedule specific blocks of time for focused work. During that block, you concentrate on only one task and avoid switching between activities. This approach helps people stay on track and get more done in less time.
Let's talk about energy. Some experts say time management is really energy management. What do you think about that?
That's a very important point. Even if someone has a perfectly organized schedule, it won't work if they don't have the energy to follow it. Productivity depends heavily on physical and mental energy. For instance, many people try to handle difficult tasks late at night when they're already exhausted. In that situation, even simple work can feel challenging. Instead, it's better to line up demanding tasks during the time of day when your energy is highest. Some people are more productive in the morning, while others work better in the afternoon or evening. Understanding your natural rhythm allows you to make the most of your productive hours. Sleep also plays a huge role. Without enough rest, concentration drops, decision-making becomes harder, and tasks take longer to complete. That's why maintaining healthy routines, sleep, exercise, and proper breaks supports effective time management.
Speaking of breaks, some people feel guilty when they stop working. Are breaks really necessary?
Absolutely. Breaks are not a waste of time. They are essential for maintaining focus and productivity. When people work continuously for long periods, mental fatigue begins to slow them down. Their attention weakens, mistakes increase, and progress becomes slower. Short breaks help the brain reset and recharge. After stepping away from work for a few minutes, people often return with clearer thinking and renewed motivation. However, the key is to take intentional breaks rather than drifting into long distractions. A quick walk, stretching, or simply stepping away from the screen can help refresh the mind. These small pauses help people maintain steady performance throughout the day.
Another challenge many people face is unexpected tasks. How can someone manage time when new problems keep coming up?
That's where flexibility becomes important. No schedule is perfect, and unexpected tasks will always appear. Instead of trying to control everything, people should leave room in their schedule for surprises. For example, instead of filling every minute of the day, it's helpful to set aside buffer time between tasks. This extra space allows you to handle unexpected situations without completely disrupting your plan. It's also important to reassess priorities when something urgent appears. Ask yourself, is this truly important right now, or can it wait? Not every request needs immediate attention. When people learn to adjust their plans without losing focus on their main goals, they become much more effective at managing their time.
Let's imagine someone who feels constantly overwhelmed by their schedule. What first steps would you recommend for them?
The first step is to pause and step back. When people feel overwhelmed, they often keep pushing forward without taking time to evaluate the situation. But clarity comes from reflection. Start by writing down everything that needs attention: tasks, responsibilities, appointments, and deadlines. Seeing everything in one place helps people get a clearer picture of their workload. Next, categorize tasks into 3 groups: essential tasks, optional tasks, and tasks that can be postponed or delegated. This process helps people cut down unnecessary pressure. After that, begin mapping out the week in a realistic way. Instead of trying to accomplish everything immediately, focus on a few key tasks each day. Over time, this approach helps people regain control of their schedule.
Many listeners are students or young professionals. Do time management skills become more important as responsibilities increase?
Definitely. As responsibilities grow, time becomes more limited. Students might have classes, assignments, exams, and part-time jobs. Professionals might juggle meetings, deadlines, family commitments, and personal goals. Without good time management, these responsibilities can quickly feel overwhelming. But with the right habits, people can stay on top of their workload and still make time for personal growth. One important habit is planning ahead. People who look ahead and prepare early often experience less stress because they're not constantly rushing to finish things at the last minute. Another useful habit is reflection. Taking a few minutes at the end of the week to look back on your progress helps identify what worked well and what needs improvement. Over time, this reflection helps people refine their strategies and become more efficient.
It sounds like time management is really a lifelong skill.
Exactly. It's not something you master once and forget about. Life changes constantly. New jobs, new responsibilities, new challenges. As circumstances change, people need to adjust their routines and refine their systems. The most successful people are not those who control every minute perfectly, but those who remain flexible, aware, and intentional with their time. They regularly review their priorities, cut out distractions, and focus on meaningful work. Ultimately, time management is about making conscious choices. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, but how those hours are used can shape the direction of an entire life.
That's a powerful perspective. Understanding how to use time wisely can truly change the way people work and live.